As a result, later in the evening, when it got grey, they took us out and said, "No, we'll move." We went again. That is... And there were already houses behind the kindergarten. And as I understood, they probably wanted to get us there. That is, this is how we stood, let's say, this workshop. Here was a 3-story building here. There was a kindergarten here. Houses, we went like this.
I understand.
To that houses on this and something he says, run into this building, that is into the kindergarten for now. I say, I'll change the bird now. He changed the bird that it... He says, let's go out and move. We run out of this territory of the kindergarten. And he says, you see the gas pipe? And that's it, he lost his connection and we're like lost people there. We crowded together, the drone was buzzing, well, I understood there was no connection and we returned to this garden. Then there was someone in this kindergarten too, in the shape of the letter H. In short, they entered the building. That is the first one. There everyone was like alias through them. He told us like to come back here to the workshop, like and spend the night there, so that he had something with the bird. What happened? Communication constantly. That is, we heard the command, but they in short were having a hard time fighting back.
Got it.
Everything was bad.
What next? Come closer to captivity.
No, closer to captivity. We stayed overnight here. In the workshop there.
In the workshop.
Like the ceiling. There was one hole there, like Baba Yaga, in short, took it apart. That's what's in the kindergarten. He said like on the 5th try break through the ceiling somewhere. Well, no way. We started in this workshop. Well, we stayed overnight, made ourselves a booth, something like that, sat on it. That's it. 3 more alias... Well, they settled in another room there, and that is, while we were sitting, Baba Yaga started to take it apart, and here was the first drop, and one was wounded. It immediately hit the wall. It broke through, and our legs were knocked off by the stones from these slabs. Everything, well, was knocked off.
What was that big thing it was dropping? Tank mines?
I don't know, tank mines or what. Well, it dropped some mines. That is, dropped one, then the second, and here we are. All over the building they are there. The workshop is big.
In short, you were running and it was after you.
Yes, we ran all over the building like that, and the windows there are even bigger. That is, it turns out it broke through the first time. Well, that is, in short, we told the radio station that we needed a fortification, not a fortification, but some other kind of shelter. That Baba Yaga is taking us apart, and so, like that is until lunch. Well, in short, we lasted like that all night. Now he says we'll see, like and so. In short, nothing, we stayed like that until the morning. Here come the dawn and lunch. It turned out it's already lunchtime. Well, somewhere around here. No one remembers about us that we like needed a different shelter. Last night they said they would transfer us in the morning, but they didn't transfer us, and so at lunchtime we asked a parcel for people, because we haven't eaten there since yesterday. Let's say we asked for a parcel, and he said right away, he said like, get ready, let's well, like not send a package to people now, but it turns out that's what I showed here, the building 3-story, this, either a hospital or something like that, and so we went into it, and sure, the 3 of us went out.
And the wounded, or with you?
They are different group, they had a different command there, that's all. He says, now we'll move. Well, I thought now we will move into a house and we'll eat there and everything, and this, in short, well, they told us to move. We are there through the fence. We jumped over there. It turned out we approached 2 entrances of a 3-story building. Well, I thought it was a residential building. They told us to go into the left entrance, weapons on ready. Well, the weapons on ready, there could be an enemy there, so we are faced with the fact, it turns out, right away.
Well?
We entered the entrances. I was the last one to enter with radio. 2 people entered. They looked in corridor and saw someone there. He says the enemy, like rustling. We started slowly and that's it. And they were shooting from there.
I understand.
With one corridor and here. Well, and they started shooting. Well, that is, How they shot, it just that the rifle not like this, but like this.
Well, I get it.
Shoot, and that's it. There, all our grenades burned in that. There, this one also caught fire. We didn't have
In
grenades.
the workshop.
Yes, it caught fire, and there were 3 grenades left there. We threw them there. They probably didn't even reach the floor of the building. That is, at the end, in that entrance. In short, that's how it is. Where are they shooting to each other? It's not clear. I, in short, ran out onto the street, about 2 meters from the entrance, where there is one store. In short, saw the first 4 windows. Well, I think that there was someone in the room. Shooting at the first 4 windows at angle, it turns out they hit
In the frame.
in frame, yeah. Well, I thought maybe someone would crawl out into the corridor from this, and well, I don't know, they're guys, it's work, well, it's our first time. I don't know what the situation is, I don't know. And there was shooting apparently from other houses too, because someone hit me from the 2nd floor, from another floor.
Wound.
Yes.
Where did it hit?
The entrance was through the shoulder blade, and the exit was through the shoulder.
And what do your doctors say?
Well, my shoulder blade is shot,
Bones?
and the collarbone there is shattered. In short, here the bullet came out. They took an
Are
X-ray.
there a lot of fragments there?
There's a bullet there.
Oh, the bullet. Is it still inside?
Not inside, but it was just like they shoot out. It just broke the collarbone.
And what do they say? Will it heal or not?
Well, I don't know. And it turned out that
And the armor, or next to the armor?
it went to the shoulder blade. That they, in short, I was immediately wounded, and I ran back into the entrance. I left my rifle on the street. The guys were shooting there until dark, it turned out. As I entered the entrance, there was a hole in the basement. I asked them at first, well, I say I'm wounded. Well, I was kind of scared. Well, I didn't want to get confused. The arm had flown out, and I saw that it had somehow been torn off. That is, I took,
Well, you move it.
well, not really. Well, down there, I have it rewound there.
Do your fingers work?
Fingers work. Well, I have the plaster here.
Plaster. That's it. I get it. And we won't show it. YouTube, in short, doesn't like the kind of thing.
Well, that's... Well, and then, in short, I crawled into this basement at night. I took off my bulletproof vest, took a first aid kit, put in the 3 painkiller, anti-shock, and blood stopper. Applied a tourniquet first, then in the basement, it's all. And so I spent the night in the basement. Well, I heard shooting. That is, who took the radio from me, like he wasn't the eldest, well, Frol. And it turns out I don't know, I spent the night there, in that basement. Well, the shooting lasted until dark. It turns out they were there for about 3 hours, exchanged fire for... And I'll tell you now, in the morning he jumped in. Well, I was still there, like, I'm like Vec, my
Yeah, I see it
co-sign.
written on the cap.
And this he says, well, I realized that it was Frol. I say, are you alive? Well, when the shooting stopped, I thought they were shot. I don't know, I lay there all night, afraid. I thought, who will throw grenades, who is there in the basement with such a ceiling? And that's it, he jumped in, took his backpack in short and left. Then he went down and we were on the 2nd floor all night, there in the little room. Like a toilet, and like a little bigger, like a bathtub. There, that is, you go out of the stairs immediately to the left there. This is it. They were sitting in this small room on the 2nd floor. And there he is, in short, he got down on all fours, and I told him, well, I was like bent
Well,
over.
of course, we'll climb out from him, he'll lift you up.
And so I, in short, body on 90, as they say, went into this room. They have this one in the corner, like, how did they figure out the table? Well, that's how wide it was.
Well, I get it. Well, go on.
In this corner, so in short, we said they were nearby. It turned out we sat for 4 days. So there was no food, nothing. We couldn't communicate. In short, there, no this, no nothing. Well, we got lucky that there was water, so I did this antibiotics. Well, that is, I lay there for these 4 days. On the 5th days, in short, they had contact again. That is, it was on the 24th, it turned out, I think.
November.
Yes. So, November 24, well, it turned out we went there on the 20th. It turned out I was wounded. On November 24th, we sat there for 4 days because we knew that there was someone down there. Well, as the boys said, well, come out. They didn't control the building, they're nothing. They weren't just hiding, were sitting in this room. And when the antenna was fixed, well, the radio was broken. They made the wire in short. We got in touch, like they sent us an antenna, these 2 cans of stew. And there in short, they threw several magazines, well, and there were 3 or 4 grenades. That's it. By lunchtime, they also brought some packages. That is, the boys went down and one of them was wounded in the first day too. From his own grenade, their shrapnel cut his legs. Well, and so that is, it turns out that we ordered this food only on the 5th day, and so on this 5th day, we assumed they ate this stew for lunch, and that's it. And the grenade exploded.
And they threw a grenade at you.
Yes, and in the morning we heard a vehicle. Apparently someone in this...
Reinforcement.
Yes.
So what next? A grenade landed?
A grenade flew in, that's it. They started shooting somewhere again. It's not clear. Well, that is, he didn't
How
go
did
out.
they take you prisoner?
The captivity, they ran out of ammo. One apparently dead. Frol, in short... But there was like ammo left. He had a wound there, either in his finger or something. It hit his finger and it, he gave himself an injection there. It's a painkiller. And that's it. And when they were shouting, the ladder is ours, they say, surrender. And he started talking to them. I don't know, it's scared, let me think for 5 minutes. Are you going to torture me? No, we won't torture you. And he says, what should I do to me? I say, I don't know, surrender, there is no ammo. And he says, let me think for 5 minutes. They shoot one of them. One stayed next to me. And, he says, surrender, take off your body armor and throw off your rifle, raise your hands. And he says, what should we do? I say you have one wounded here, well, me. And that's it, he shouted that there's a wounded man with me, and that's it. He tells me, get up, let's go out. I say, it's really scary. Well, and so he stood up, and we walked like this, bent over and went out to him from this little room. To go out, he's standing in the corridor. That is, here the long corridor, here's a staircase behind the wall. That is, I go out. He takes off his bulletproof vest, take it off and grabs the rifle. His rifle goes off. For a moment I saw that he accidentally went off again. It just that it had already done this when we were there in the houses. He didn't control his finger and accidentally shot himself in the leg. Got between the fingers, didn't hurt anything, and then he took off his bulletproof vest, took the rifle and shot. At that moment I saw that it was an accident again, and he says, damn, it didn't work. I said, what are you doing? Put away the rifle. He took it, went and sat down where I came from, and then there was a toilet.
Just don't tell me he shot himself.
He sat on the toilet, closed the door and shot himself. Well, there was a shot. And that's it, I'm scared, I'm screaming. He shot himself. They tell me, come out, they yell at me, I'm scared. I came out, there were so many people there.
How many?
Well, there were about 10 people in the whole building.
So why the hell did you resist at all? What will it give?
Well, as for me, I
And what
don't
did they
have a
tell
rifle at
you?
all.
Did you come out?
Went out, we crossed the 3rd floor along the corridor.
I like how you pronounce corridor, like a corridor.
Well, the corridor.
You just said corridor 8 times already. I'm sitting here with blood coming off my ears. I think this beautiful Russian language is going to hurt me now. Think, yes.
And they went through the 3rd floor, went down to the 1st, and then he says, it's as if they weren't interrogating me, so I'm scared and short, and in this fear I thought that they would kill me now. He tells me probably will kill you, and says let's go. Check if there is anyone there or not. I say no, I think he shot himself. Really? Shot himself? Really? And that's it. We went through the 3rd floor again. Went there and looked at that guy lying in the room, who had already been wounded in his legs, was killed, well. And so I went there in short. I'm saying I'll go first to look. There's no one there. Where was that he shot himself? He definitely shot himself. I opened the door and he was sitting like this. In short, his head was twitching like this. These splashes were there.
Did you like it?
Hell no, I didn't. That's how he sat with a rifle.
Our guys came to check him too.
Yes, they looked as if there was no one else. They took the backpacks, they all went down there, and it turned out somewhere until 1 or 12 o'clock in the evening. So I was lying there on the floor and
Did they give you first aid?
I was just bandaged for the 5th day already.
Who took your prisoner, they said?
Just,
They didn't say there was some kind of brigade there.
no. In short, some kind of vehicle arrived on tracks, so they loaded 2 dead people into it.
Ours.
Yes, one was wounded and me 3 and 2 of them. Only 2 of these escorts, and that's how they brought me there. In short, they took everything away, loaded into a car, and then drove somewhere in the car. I understand that how it was.
It doesn't matter anymore that you were captured.
Yes, I was already here on the 24th and 25th, it turned out.
What do you think next?
What do I think?
Well, what will happen to you?
I have no desire to go back.
What's wrong?
I would like to go to RVC.
And you say to your wife,
I told my wife,
hello.
hello.
Hello. How are you? He saw the cap and got scared.
I'm listening attentively.
Listen carefully. Look, your friend is in captivity. What is your name?
Zhenya.
Zhenya. He sent you a voice message, recorded the message, but I understand you're sleeping anyway. If you want to talk to him, I need your consent to record and publish the conversation.
I give my consent.
Okay. You don't say where you are, and you don't say with whom you are in captivity.
Just,
In captivity, and that's it.
hello, brother. Hello. That's how things are. Well, in short, I was talking to Igor the day before yesterday, and I say that you don't need to believe this crap until everything is clearly understood. That's all. In short, I left the phone at the ground zero along with the card. They say that in 10 days you will have to roll back. And you will take it, but how does it turn out that there is no rollback here? Here as it went, so it is until the end. It's good that it happened this way. I would have told you differently. There is no turning back. I understand. You get wound and then again you, in short, go there even thought your legs are broken, you will still be in the front. Understand? So what, are there a lot of you there?
He doesn't know.
I don't know.
How many people do you think there are?
How do you think? Thank you for at least letting me know that everything is fine.
Don't put a child on camera, YouTube doesn't like that. Also, in front of parents like, well, okay, so who are you? I see don't even talk. Yeah, well, I'm just glad to report that you're alive, you can, or that you're done, no?
Oh, well, I'm just glad to report that I am alive.
Here you see, this is such Nazi captivity. Good. What are they telling you? When will the king die?
About?
Well, when will Putin die?
I don't know what they're saying there. They're not saying anything. He's not going to die.
Why aren't you at war?
You see, I have a child. I need to feed him.
So if you die here, tons of money will come in at once.
No, I don't need thanks. Why do you talk this way? Died at war.
Well, that's how much. Where are your accomplices?
Well, that's it. There's no one left. I will earn a lot of money myself.
Why are you swearing in front of the child?
What do you mean in front of the
A
child?
small child is here and you're cursing.
He doesn't understand yet.
Like you don't care?
No, I care. He doesn't understand. He's 1 year old.
Here you see the Russian world. That's what it is like for you. What are they talking about the war?
About what? Mariupol?
About the war.
The war? We will win soon.
Kyiv in 3 days, right?
They were talking right here. They were asking Putin questions.
And what?
Is there such a thing? Is this interview circulating on Ukraine?
In Ukraine. You hear me?
What?
In Ukraine.
Well, what did I say?
You said on. You said on. You can get on penis, but you need to say it correctly. In Ukraine, you are for the pure Russian language, right?
Where the hell do they get guys like you?
Like what?
At least my brother wasn't killed. Thank you for that. Now you're brainwashing him there, right? The Russians are generally bad, right? And you are so good. You're brainwashing people, right?
How many times have you had your brain washed today?
Never.
And yesterday?
Never.
When it's your turn to be tortured.
I was not tortured in any way.
Or maybe he should have been killed by our military.
What does it have to do with killing or not killing? I just see that he is somehow zombified. Come on, bro. Why are you even seeing me like that? Just,
Well, I'm looking at him now. What time do you have now?
6:50 p.m.? Well, yes. Well, here it is morning only.
I can't. What went wrong with Kyiv in 3 days, and you've been getting punched in the face for the 3rd year already? You're a patriot there, I understand.
I didn't even get into it. There's a war going on. Let them fight. I didn't understand Kiev for 3 days. What are you talking
Well,
about?
you were shouting from all your TVs, Kiev, for 3 days.
I can't understand what you're talking about. Did they take Kiev in 3 days?
Yeah, they wanted to take Kiev in 3 days. In the end, they got their ass kicked
So
in 3
what
days.
if it's Kiev? We've taken several cities. We're already advancing. They keep saying on TV that we're advancing at a normal speed.
Come on, tell him. We are moving at a normal speed. Where are you moving at a normal speed?
Yeah, in short, don't watch TV, I'm telling you.
Do you know how many of your Ivans have already been killed?
Of course I know.
How many?
Of course I know, it's a lot.
Well, how many?
What do I see there? I don't go to the cemeteries.
Well, how many thousands do you think were killed?
I have no idea.
Well, you can't just have some number in your head.
2 of my classmates are already dead.
Oh, that's great. Tell him a number that they won't tell them on TV.
17,000, no?
On TV they show how much? What's 17,000?
I don't know.
700,000 of these Ivans have already been killed.
700,000, yeah, 1,000.
Is 700,000 a lot?
Bro, there's just extermination going on here. So, honestly,
Well, if he say that if 2 classmates were killed, then if there are 25 people in a class, half boys and half girls, then the statistics are normal. 10% of the class of boys were killed. We're going well. What did your king say? It's fine, bullets are whistling. Did you like the action? But they didn't show the king's address on TV.
I don't watch TV there.
Oh, you don't watch. Imagine a TV in captivity, a 50-inch TV in short, he doesn't watch it.
Well, I'm not a fan. I didn't watch TV either there or here.
Okay, let's finish because he just doesn't care.
And he also has nothing to do with this war.
They'll take him away soon.
You say it right. I just don't care, yeah. Do you remember when we were smoking on the balcony? We were making faces like with the rifle. And you were captured in this war? I'm in total shock.
Look, let's finish.
Okay, that's it then. If anything, you know that I'm alive. What is it? I write to you, yes? Voicemail, yes? Or what? I probably can. I myself can do it, right?
You keep saying the same thing over and over again.
And what about your phone? Why isn't it here?
He also
That's
said
all.
that he gave the commander a phone and his salary. Bye. It just doesn't care. You're in captivity, you're not in captivity, you're alive, war, not war. A small child, you're not a country. A small child, he speaks with curses. I am so disgusted. What kind of crap is this? According to tradition, we have a prisoner of war if wants to address his own, but don't touch the microphone. We need to go to war, no need to go to war.
I don't think we should go to war.
Ensure the screen was not recorded, also that should have been recorded.
A conversation.
Yeah. No need. Well, that's all it means. Why don't you want to come back?
Yes, I don't want this carousel a second time.
You see? He doesn't give a damn about the war. The carousel for the second time.